Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So it is a great honor to welcome you to the second Japan Korea Air Symposium. So my name is Hiroyuki Inoshita, and I am responsible for the role of Customer Success Manager at Airs Medical. So I am honored to be your facilitator of today's event. So commencing without further delay, so let us proceed. So to formally begin the symposium, so I would like to invite the chairman of the event, so Professor Kei Yamada from Kyoto Prefecture University of Medicine, to deliver the opening remarks. So please allow me to introduce our chairman briefly. So Professor Yamada was a junior faculty member and lecturer at the Kyoto Prefecture University of Medicine. So he is currently the professor and chair of the Department of Radiology at the same institution, where he continues to lead significant advancements in medical research and education. So please join me in welcoming him with a round of applause.
Hey, hello everybody. Yeah, thanks for the introduction, and I'd like to open the session by saying a few words. So I'd like to first congratulate the team of the Airs Medical because they did a fantastic job. The venue is super. Never been here before. And a lot of you probably haven't either. I'd like to congratulate personally Jaeyeon. And you guys here today? No, he's not. Okay, but we had an exchange of emails. I counted today in the airplane. There were over 50 emails that we exchanged. So we've been working for this for about half a year, or maybe 1 year. So our first meeting was in Incheon, and it was also fantastic. We liked it. We had a good time. And I also like the company too. You know, this is a very young company. I heard at that point the CEO was at his 20s. And the manager, Jaeyeon, is at your 30s. Now just became 30, all right. So they are so young. They have energy, and that's what I was moved. In Japan, we don't have it. We tend to be very conservative, and the old man is always important in a way. They boss around. I try not to, but it happens in Asian countries, I suppose. But anyhow, I love the fact that this company is so young, so energetic. So I was talking to Jaeyeon saying, why not the second round? You know, why don't we do it for the second time? And we had a thorough discussion. We were initially thinking whether we should do it in Seoul, Korea, but then there was another idea. What about Kyoto? What about Tokyo? What about somewhere else, like Hakone, wherever? We came down to the conclusion that we should choose a location where everyone can easily travel. So we chose Tokyo, which is, I think, a fantastic idea too. So anyhow, we are here today, and we're at the second round. I'm responsible for the meeting in terms of selecting the people here. So everyone here is more or less a friend of mine. So there's a big bias in terms of the people who gathered here, which is okay. But I did one thing, which is to carefully pick a person from one institution, and I tried to sort of avoid having their boss together with a junior. There was one or two exceptions today, but I carefully did it because people in Japan tend to make a cluster. You probably noticed that we tend to be sort of local people gathering, creating a group. And I don't like it. You know, people have to interact. And I think that the idea today is to have interaction. So today, if you leave the hotel without a new friend, you're a loser, right? So you have to create a friend, because this is the only thing that will advance the medicine or advance the science. You know, you have to sort of collaborate, and this is a synergy. You know, you create an energy, new direction. So I think those things today we can build together. So I hope you enjoy the show and enjoy everything that will happen today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Professor Yamada, so for your insightful and inspiring opening remarks. So now, next, we will have a presentation from Airs Medical. So it is my pleasure to introduce Jaeyoung Yoon. So he is head of Japan Business Development at Airs Medical, and also he is my boss and a great friend. Are you ready, Jaeyoung? Yes, go ahead. So please give him a warm round of applause.
So, thank you so much for your friendly introduction and for Professor K. Yamada's warm opening remark. And yes, last year I was 20s, but this year is now 30s. So I cannot be sure we are a young company, but I'm pretty much sure that we are still young company and have a spirit of energy, as Professor K. Yamada sensei mentioned. So this is Jaeyoung Yoon, one of the co-founders of Airs Medical. And as Professor Yamada sensei mentioned, this is the second Japan-Korea AI for Radiology Symposium. And last year we had first Japan-Korea AI for Radiology Symposium together with Professor Seung-Hong Choi, who also came here today. So we are very delighted to continue this symposium this year together with Professor K. Yamada. And yeah, let's begin. So as the scheme of this symposium is to share various experience and insight of AI in radiology, we wanted to begin this symposium by briefly introducing who we are and sharing our experience as one of the players of AI and radiology. So starting from who we are young Airs Medical company, started in 2018 with 5 co-founders who used to be the MRI researcher in the laboratory of Professor Jong-ho Lee, who also came here today. And we had a shared vision of transforming healthcare through the power of AI and robotics, which means that simply we wanted to change the world through our technology to benefit more patients, including our parents and our friends. So after foundation, together with various recognition, now we became a global company, having 4 offices in the world and having 100 employees at this moment. So now we became a global company, but at the beginning, when we had only like 10 people in our company, because we used to be the MRI researchers, we just wanted to build the world's best technology first. We didn't care about product or anything. We just took care about building the technology. And after 2 years, when we became a bit confident with our technology level, there was a chance to present our technology in the world, which was Fast MRI Challenge, hosted by Facebook and New York University. And this was a global contest. Basically, participants are competing who has the best Fast MRI technology. And the result was, as you expect, Airs Medical won this challenge. If we didn't win, I wouldn't put this slide here. So yeah, it looks quite complicated, but simply thinking, there were various tracks and various evaluations, but we won all the tracks and all the evaluation. And as a small team, we were so happy because only few, like 4 or 5 people engaged in developing this technology, but we won this contest even though global MRI manufacturers also participated. So after this, we thought that it is the right timing to convert our technology to a proper product. So we took about 1 year of productization period, and in 2022, we first launched our product, which was named SwiftMR. And it's basically deep learning-based MRI image quality improvement solution that does denoising and super resolution. So if we get noisy and low resolution image, like image in the left side, we will reconstruct it back to the high quality, which is denoised and high resolution image. So when we first launched this product in 2022, we were so excited to finally we are changing the world. However, at that time, actually everyone said we will fail in this market. because all the MRI vendors were already developing and already providing their own AI software for MRI image reconstruction. However, we were Seoul National University MRI researchers, so we didn't give up, and we just kept moving on. And this is, as of today, what we are doing. So we didn't fail. It is not only survival, but we are changing the world. So over 500 hospitals are using SwiftMR, and already more than 2 million patients got benefit from our technology. So I believe this was pretty much rapid growth. And if someone asks how this was possible in the situation that the big MRI vendors are also providing their own AI software, how this was possible, then I would say there were various factors. And one of them is that our very unique technology. The first feature is our superior image quality. So among those AI softwares, SwiftMR is the only software that performs denoising, in-plane direction super resolution, and slice direction super resolution at the same time, which we call it all-in-one model. So for example, if the image in the left side is the input of SwiftMR, we will result in the image like a right side image. It looks pretty, but inside there are multiple technologies included. So first one is denoising. So we deal with K-space sample noise or uniform or random undersampling factor to improve the SNR. So if you compare the original image with number one image, you can see SNR has been improved. But not only this, we do in-plane direction super resolution. For example, higher frequency direction Kmax, so that if you see red arrow, frequency direction resolution has been improved. And same as phase direction Kmax, so phase direction resolution has been boosted. And also, if you see the yellow arrow, we deal with higher phase partial Fourier factor also, so that as a result, blurring due to phase partial Fourier is reduced through SwiftMR. And finally, we perform slice super resolution. So if you see green arrows, blurring due to the slice direction partial volume effect has been removed through our super resolution technology. So in the real world, we process all these features at the same time. So if, in another word, if another technology cannot cover some of these features, it means the resulting image quality will be lower than SwiftMR image quality. So this makes our superior image quality, and we do have additional factors we care about, and you can find more details in our archive paper. So as a result, we can make this beautiful brain MRI 3D image. Left is the input of SwiftMR, and right side is output of SwiftMR. And some vessels, I think you can see, that were not clearly visible in the left side input image can be clearly depicted in the right side image. And additionally, another point is that SwiftMR supports all body parts and all sequences for all scanners. So SwiftMR is compatible with all MRI scanners, regardless of vendor, model, or age of MRI. So even though it is like old MRI scanner, we can upgrade with SwiftMR, or if you have multiple MRI scanners, you can achieve equivalent image quality for all scanners. And also SwiftMR is the only solution that supports all the sequences, including 2D and 3D, and any sequences, any images are processable. So these kind of unique features definitely affected our rapid growth. But as I mentioned, there were actually various factors that determined our growth. And during this journey, we've learned that there is some more important thing than just technology. So we'd like to share those learning this time. So when we first launched our product, this was our dream. Like we dreamed that all doctors will love our image and want to try out. And we can just say, thank you so much and then we provide the sincere heart to the doctor. This was our dream scenario. Actually, in the most case, we are facing this kind of scenario, but sometimes we needed to deal with this kind of a concern. Like, for example, what if systema remove lesion? So initially, we tried to deal with technical explanation. For example, function of systema is basically detecting only noise and removing noise only. So there is no chance to remove lesion. And how to detect noise is, there are many methods, and one of the methods is analyzing the continuity between adjacent slices. So anatomical structure or lesion will have a continuity between adjacent slices or adjacent voxels, but noise is independently generated. So by analyzing this kind of continuity, we can detect only noise. And this is just one of the examples. So after explaining like this, most of the doctors are convinced, but sometimes this leads to the next following question, which is still, what if systema removes lesion? So if we just continue technical explanation, it became infinity loop. So we try to figure out another way by borrowing some comments from another doctor. So for example, this is a comment from Seoul National University Hospital that comparing the conventional sequence with accelerated sequence. And if you see the red arrow, left is the conventional and right is the accelerated plus systema reconstructed. And if you see the red arrow, even though it is accelerated, a very small focal high T2 signal has been remained clearly. And this was not said by us, this was said by a doctor. So after trying to utilize this kind of comments, we figured out that this kind of reference is very, very powerful. So after this, we started to offer some free and simple trial programs, such as sample image processing, which if we receive anonymized DICOM image, we'll process and send back to the doctor, or live image processing, similar, but we go to the hospital and process on-site in a real time, or doing the workstation implementation, so simply putting our system PC inside the hospital, and doctors can freely upload and process and download the image. And the basically purpose was to offer as much simple as possible way to try systema. And as a result, we started to accumulate more use cases, such as this is a case from Yonsei Severance Hospital that wanted to use for scan time reduction to fit in their research purpose sequence. And left image is their original image, and the right image is accelerated plus systema. And you can see the right image, even though it is accelerated, it has higher resolution than the original image. Another case is image quality enhancement from Dongguk University Hospital. They wanted to bring their end-of-life old MRI scanner back to life. So if you see the left image, that was their original image. So we made them to have improved image quality. You can see the SNR has been improved. So now they are fully utilizing their scanners, old scanner, together with systema. And once we started to expand to global market, we realized that the local evidence is also very important. So we started to collaborate together with doctors in each country. For example, in Japan, we started to thanks to Hokkaido University Hospital, we were able to collaborate with them. And this is a comment from Professor Noriyuki Fujima, who also came here. So he tried for 1.5 Tesla image to systema as the right figure, and compared with the image from 3 Tesla scanner, and mentioned that using 1.5 Tesla plus systema image is equivalent or even better than the image from 3 Tesla MRI scanner. And we are utilizing this amazing code very usefully in Japan. Thank you so much. So after learning this, we are actively building more and more clinical reliability with global collaboration partners, resulting in 40 open collaboration, 11 published papers, and 5 papers under review. And if you see the right bottom, starting from 2024, this year, we are trying to open more and more collaboration in each country, for example, Europe or Japan. And not only just papers, we are actively presenting in global conferences. So starting from RSNA, ECR, and last year, first Japan-Korea AI for Radiology Symposium, another RSNA and ASNR, and also Hokkaido Medical AI Symposium, and current Symposium, and many more are coming. So we are putting much more effort now, and from now on we will put more and more effort. So if there is anyone interested, please join us to build clinical evidence. And this is the last part, that future direction of ARS Medical. And I just wanted to mention that SwiftMR is just the beginning of our roadmap. And ultimately, we dream a world without sickness. And in order to do that, we will be doing putting more products for AI for prediction. So in SwiftMR line, for example, in Korea this year, we launched SwiftMR Turbo, which is ultra-fast 5-minute protocol, which completes the routine MRI scan less than 5 minutes for 6 series. And with this protocol, hospitals and patients are experiencing another level of productivity increase and patient experience increase. So we will be continuously developing more and more solutions and building more and more clinical evidence to more benefit more patients. So please keep your eyes on us, and we will be highly appreciated if you can join us. Thank you so much. ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Jerome, for your excellent presentation. So we will now begin session 1. So our moderators for this session are Professor Kosuke Kudo from Hokkaido University and Professor Seung-Hoon Choi from Seoul National University Hospital. So please allow me to introduce our moderators briefly. So Professor Kosuke Kudo is a professor in the Department of Diagnostic Radiology at Hokkaido University. So he holds multiple positions, including director of the Central Institute of Isotope Science and director of the Medical AI Research and Development Center at the same institution. So our second moderator, Professor Seung-Hoon Choi, is a professor at the Department of Radiology, Seoul National University College of Medicine, specializing in cancer imaging. So please welcome Professors Kudo and Choi with a round of applause.
So thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. So we are very happy to moderate this first session of this symposium. My name is Kosuke Kudo from Hokkaido University, and co-moderator is Seung-Hoon Choi from Seoul National University Hospital. I'd like to start this session. So the first speaker is Noriyuki Fujima. I'd like to introduce shortly for his CV. So he graduated from Hokkaido University School of Medicine in 2004, and he got a PhD degree in a university. And then he became faculty, and he went to Boston Medical University 1 or 2 years, and he came back to Hokkaido University, and now he's a senior lecturer, Department of Diagnostic and Interventional Radiology, Hokkaido University Hospital. So in a university hospital, we started to try the SwiftMR, and now today, Fujima Sensei will present our result, fantastic result, I think. So the title of his talk is the Remarkable Image Quality Improvement and Clinical Utility Achievement by SwiftMR. So Dr. Fujima, please.
Thank you for the kind introduction. I'm Noriyuki Fujima from Hokkaido University Hospital. So Firstly, I express my gratitude for inviting me to such a wonderful symposium. So I'm very excited now. So my presentation is the remarkable image quality improvement and clinical utility achieved by SwiftMR. So let's start. First, about the deep learning reconstruction. So in recent years, deep learning reconstruction has been spreading its applications around the world, including Korea and Japan. So each major vendor has developed and offers their own deep learning reconstruction system. For example, such as GE, Air Recon DL system, and Philips, Smart Speed AI, and Siemens, Deep Resolve, and Canon, ACE and Peak, and other vendors. So all vendors' technique provide improved image quality. So very good image can be provided by using this technique. But there's one major limitation. So for example, this is MR scanner 1. This scanner uses deep learning reconstruction type 1, and this is scanner 2, use deep learning reconstruction type 2, and scanner 3 and type 3, but only one deep learning reconstruction system per scanner is applied, so still limited use. And also some scanners are available in deep learning reconstruction. So in addition, each deep learning reconstruction has different characteristics of the image quality improvement. So sometimes comparison is very difficult among these scanners' images. But SwiftMR solves this problem. So SwiftMR is utilized outside the scanner. So this is so-called vendor neutral, not vendor specific, but vendor neutral. So not specific scanner. So SwiftMR is available for all MR scanners. And also same type of image quality improvement can be obtained. So image comparison will be easy by using SwiftMR. This is a great merit of SwiftMR. So this is an image without SwiftMR and with SwiftMR. So image improvement is very obvious. So SwiftMR is available for any vendor, any scanner, available for any sequence, and very flexible and easy to use. So very good and good software. So before the case presentation, I will talk about the inner workings, inner structure of the SwiftMR. So first is the preparation of training data set to train the neural network in SwiftMR. And next is the model architecture design in SwiftMR. So first is preparation training data. So full sampling and degraded image are prepared for training. For example, this is full sampling for the image degrade. So for example, addition of Gaussian noise, and also various undersampling patterns such as grapper, Kuiper-linear, random sampling, and K-max, elliptical, and partial Fourier. So such undersampling was used for the image training. So this is an example of combination for low K-space degradation. So this is a full sampling data. And this is a Gaussian noise addition, and partially elliptical sampling and partial Fourier sampling. So pair of these images. Pair of construct images are used for the training. So this is a very important point. Image degrade was performed based on K-space, but actual training was performed using reconstructed image. So this is a image domain or K-space domain, very difficult, but so this is a great point of SwiftMR. So they use K-space and reconstructed image very effectively. So this is very merit. So image training was conducted to adapt the various types of noise to achieve the high-quality image processing. So this is a SwiftMR model architecture design. So this architecture includes two steps. First is this standardization module. So this is a so-called image normalization. So thereby this reducing the image complexity by using these steps. Thereafter, a neural network was used. So this neural network is termed context-enhanced UNet. This is based on traditional UNet structure, but important point is that so this UNet has been modified to include an additional pathway that allow for the integration of contextual data at an intermediate stage of the network. So this is a kind of data consistency maintaining. So by this process, this SwiftMR avoid to image being too artificial. So this is a natural image. So now, using a SwiftMR model built with the various type of training pair data, so highly effective denoising and high spatial resolution image can be successfully obtained. So this is a case with glioblastoma, so overall image noise and edge sharpness with all improved by SwiftMR. So this is amazing image change. So firstly, I moved on case presentation. First topic is denoising and edge sharpness. So this is a case with multiple sclerosis. This is FLAIR without SwiftMR, and this is with SwiftMR, so same raw data. So overall image quality and visibility of lesions are improved in SwiftMR processed FLAIR, so very, very improved. So this is a case with recurrent glioma. So this is T2 weight image without SwiftMR 1.5 Tesla, and this is the image with SwiftMR, so same raw data. So overall image noise can be well removed, and also both boundary of the lesion and internal structure of lesion is clearly visible. So this is the power of SwiftMR. So very different image can be obtained. So this is a case with chronic ischemic lesion. So this is without SwiftMR, and this is with SwiftMR. So small lesions are sometimes very difficult to detect due to the noise and partial volume effect, for example, such lesions. But after SwiftMR processing, so even small lesion can be clearly visible. So we can detect this easily. So this is a case with multiple sclerosis. So this is very slight high signal lesion. So slight high signal intensity are easier to detect in the Swift processed image. So this. So very unclear in without SwiftMR, but very clear in SwiftMR. So this is a very great merit of SwiftMR. So this is great point. So Radiology can read such image without stress. So this is very important point, without stress. So this is case with multiple sclerosis. This is a FLAIR without SwiftMR. So this is a FLAIR with SwiftMR. So the strength of denoising by SwiftMR is particularly effective in area where G factor noise is prominent. So such as the center of the image. So in this case, pons region. So this region can be clearly visualized by SwiftMR processed images. So this is a case with glioblastoma. For example, so do you think this is heterogeneous or homogeneous? So, but overall oil noise is very heterogeneous. So in noisy image, it is difficult to determine whether we observe the intratumoral heterogeneity or noise within the tumor. So this is very difficult. But SwiftMR processed image clearly depicts the intratumoral heterogeneity. For example, this is heterogeneous, but this is not so heterogeneous. So this is probably the image noise. We can clearly detect such lesions and evaluate more clearly. So this is a case with infratemporal tumor. So delimited disease, so-called LDD. So structure within the tumor is clearly depicted and sharp edge in SwiftMR image. So it is expected to provide more detailed evaluation in this region by using SwiftMR. So this is an image with ASL. So ASL have processed with subtraction image. So this is very complex compared to the T2 weight image or FLAIR. So ASL is very difficult to image quality improvement. But by using SwiftMR, so successfully demonstrates a less noise image with sharp edge. So even in ASL, so such as subtracted images. So this is a lumbar spine, disc herniation and degenerative change. So also in the area of spine, so not only brain but also spine, effective denoising and sharpening are successfully performed respectively. So we can clearly observe the degenerative change and disc herniation by this image. So it is a short summary about the denoising and edge sharpening. So SwiftMR provides effective denoising and edge sharpening. In particular, the visibility of small lesion and slight signal lesion has been greatly improved and considered clinically effective. And also image after SwiftMR processing are easier for radiologists in detecting lesion and less stress. So it's very important, less stress in daily clinical practice. So this is a last topic, but I think this is the most interesting aspect in my talk. So 1.5 Tesla with SwiftMR versus 3T conventional imaging, and also 1.5 Tesla with SwiftMR versus 3T with other vendor-specific deep learning reconstruction. So this is 1.5 Tesla with SwiftMR, and this is 3 Tesla as a scanners and standard protocol. Scan time is slightly shorter in these images. So patient with all the infarction, so lesion depiction is observed. I think this is more clearer in SwiftMR-based 1.5 Tesla images. So this case is 1.5, patient with brain tumor, probably recurrent lesion. So this is 1.5 without SwiftMR. This is 1.5 with SwiftMR. This is 3 Tesla with another scanner, standard protocol. Scan time is almost the same. So SNR with increased in 3 Tesla compared to the 1.5 Tesla without SwiftMR. So overall noise is decreased, but edge sharpness is it's not sufficient. So, but SwiftMR process image, so edge sharpness and tumor boundary can be clearly visible. So this is very great. So 1.5 Tesla image changes the 3 Tesla image or above 3 Tesla image. So it's very impact. So this is a case with glioma patient. This is 1.5 Tesla without SwiftMR and SwiftMR. So very improvement can be observed. And so this is 1.5, same case, 1.5 Tesla with SwiftMR and 3T with another vendor 1 and vendor 2. Scan times mostly the same. So which was the best, do you think? So it's very difficult, but I think this depiction is more clear, the most, probably the most, so I think so. So next case is a case with inflammatory lesion, so chronic phase. So as in previous case, the image can be well improved without SwiftMR and with SwiftMR. So very image improvement can be obtained in this image. So this is a lot of images. So this is a 1.5 Tesla with SwiftMR. And this is vendor 1, 3 Tesla standard, vendor 2, vendor 3. So 4 images. Scan time is mostly or slightly shorter in this image. So overall image quality might be better, but I think might be better in 1.5 image with SwiftMR. So high SNR and edge sharpness are respectively prominent. And also this is, I think, most interesting topic. So SwiftMR 1.5 with SwiftMR versus 3T scanner with other vendor-specific AI reconstruction. So this is FLAIR 1.5 without Swift and with SwiftMR. And this image is a FLAIR 3T with another vendor-specific AI reconstruction system. So image is probably, I think this is comparable. So almost equivalent 3D FLAIR with another vendor's AI reconstruction, even in 1.5 Tesla. So this is another case, patient with post-treatment, post-operative status. This is a SwiftMR with 1.5 Tesla. And this is a 3 Tesla with another vendor's AI reconstruction system. So lesion depiction is almost equal to that of 3D AI reconstruction image. So such high measurability can be provided even 1.5 Tesla by using SwiftMR. So this is another case with non-specific inflammatory disease, so chronic phase, this area. So the lesion depiction is very so equal, I think equal. So this is a 3 Tesla with another vendor's AI reconstruction system. So depiction is probably equivalent. But so when we use locally zoomed image, the sharpness of lesion, edge sharpness, appears to be slightly superior in SwiftMR-based 1.5 Tesla image. So probably this is edges. I think this is slightly unclear, but it is very clear. So 1.5 with SwiftMR may be superior than 3T with other vendors' AI reconstruction system. But this is only one case, so answer is not clear in this stage. So, but even in SwiftMR, there's only one very significant limitation. So this is case with bulk flow-related phase shift artifact case. So unfortunately, bulk noise artifact cannot be removed even in SwiftMR. So, but currently, the situation is similar for other deep learning reconstruction systems, such as other vendors' systems. So this is very difficult problem. So this is a summary. SwiftMR enables the image quality improvement regardless of the type of MR scanner or sequence. the effectiveness by Swift MR is remarkably strong. So even in 1.5 Tesla, Swift MR is never comparable to conventional 3D image with AI reconstruction. Due to its convenience and performance, Swift MR has potential to significantly affect the future in the field of radiology. And without stress in radiology, this is a very important point. So that's all. Thank you for the attention.
So thank you, Dr. Fujima. So you covered from the basic of the Swift MR algorithm, and you showed a lot of clinical data. So now it's open for the discussion. Any questions or comments from the audience? Yes, Murakami-sensei.
Thank you very much for your wonderful lecture. I'm Murakami from Kobe University. I have one question. You use DICOM data. DICOM data improved by smart MR. What does Swift MR change the quality data? Don't affect the quality data of after reconstruction, after AI reconstruction. Quality data is you obtain the quality data. Quantitative data, from original data or after reconstruction data, or both is okay or not.
So just now, my experience is only limited in qualitative image, so visual data. So I don't know quantitative data can be affected or not. So this will be addressed by future studies. So, but this is a very interesting point. Thank you for your question.
So how about the ADC? For example, you apply the Swift MR for B0 and B1000 and calculate the ADC, or you apply the Swift MR for the ADC map. Which one?
So currently, we don't use Swift MR in diffusion weighted image. So I don't know ADC map will be changed or not. I'm sorry.
I see. But the quantitative value is one of the concerns, yes, for the ADC or DCE, DSC. Any experience from the Korean doctors for the quantitative value?
I think Lo Liu has several experiences regarding quantitative analysis of Swift MR in spine MRI.
Is microphone?
Not really quantitative in a sense. I think we're talking about quantitative parameters such as ADC or K-trans from DCE or CBV from DSC.
CNR and SNR.
I think the definition of quantitative parameters need to be defined first, and the quantitative we tested were quantitative parameters we tested were CNR and SNR. To evaluate the imaging quality in a more quantitative sense, and in that way, those parameters were superior even in the accelerated images with the Swift MR applied. But the quantitative the professors mentioned were quantitative parameters such as ADC and CPV, and I think those are the interesting areas for exploration. Thanks for a good research idea.
So any other questions or comments from the audience? So you showed a lot of very excellent images. So basically, Swift MR reduces the noise, preserving the edge and the structures. But some of your image shows better contrast, not only for the noise, but also better contrast. How do you think that?
So probably we see the image with noise and true signal. So Swift MR decreases noise. So only true signal will be remained. So this is the main cause of good contrast in Swift MR processed images. But this is only my speculation.
So did you actually measure the contrast? Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
So any other questions? Yes, Professor Moon.
You just provided brain images with a usual FOV, quite a large FOV. Have you tried a Swift MR onto more smaller areas, structure, for instance, orbit or a cellular MRI, a pituitary MRI, with a narrow FOV?
So, in this stage, so we use normal FOV only. So, but next target is probably your comment in your comments, so orbit or so head and neck or other small regions. So, I want to try in the future.
I just wondered if you are satisfied with a smaller FOV MRI with a Swift technique, because in my experience at first I was very satisfied with Swift MR quality in a standard brain MRI, but initially I wasn't that much satisfied with a pituitary MRI. But gradually, but with improvement of the revision of the software, then now I'm very satisfied with pituitary MRI as well as orbit with or other very small FOV the regions, because I think Swift MRI has a tremendous advantage in faster imaging, but also very high resolution. Very high resolution. We can obtain very high resolution MRI up to less than 0.2 or 0.1 millimeter images, even with standard imaging acquisition time. That is really really good advantage for using Swift MR technique.
Actually, we have a different direction, so shorten the scan time or increase the resolution. Yes, that's true. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Fujimura.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions and answers and hot discussions. It's time to move on to next topic. Next speaker is Yang-Shin Choi from Assam Medical Center. He graduated from Catholic University, Korea, College of Medicine. Currently, he is working as assistant professor, radiology, neuroradiology, Assam Medical Center. He will talk about Swift MR in structural 3D T1 weighted imaging for neuroimaging research. Professor Choi, please.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I have a very good fond memory of this hotel, and I really appreciate the invitation to give a short lecture in the symposium. The topic initially did not include the word conventional, but I included to show the great benefit of the Swift MR in both conventional and structural MRI. So the diagnostic MRI has shown a major breakthrough from 2000s with the introduction of 3 Tesla. In 2018, the 7 Tesla scanner was approved for clinical use, but its use has been limited to mostly neurodegenerative diseases in research settings. So there seems to be a gap between 3 Tesla and 7 Tesla scanners, which I think can be filled by the deep learning reconstruction technique available from 2020s. Radiologists may not realize how the MR image quality evolves over time because we are so used to it. So for instance, these brain MRI taken in 2023 seem to be quite usual, nothing fancy or outstanding. But if you look at the same patient who took this image in 2008, the radiologists would appreciate how much image quality has improved over this time. So we are unknowingly seeing these changes. Radiologists often have to decide, it's the cliche, but they have to decide between the scan time and image quality, but it has not been possible to have both. But for clinical purpose, scan time is more important, whereas for research, the image quality is more important. With Swift MR, both image quality and scan time reduction can be acquired. And what's more, Swift MR can be applied in all main MR sequences, including T1, T2 flare, DWI, and 3D TOF, and in all major MR manufacturers. So some of the old scanners who do not receive any software updates, this can be a solution. So I'll just briefly go over the standard images. 2D T1 weighted image, the left is standard, and when it's the middle is the accelerated, and the right is Swift MR reconstructed. So the overall time reduction is 43% without loss of image quality. 2D T2 weighted image, standard is 2 minutes and 22 seconds. About the half of the scan time, the image quality is still maintained. 2D flare, same here. Swift MR reconstruction reduced the time by 33%. The image quality is maintained or maybe even better. 3D T1 MPRH, standard is 4 minutes 51 seconds. The scan time reduction by 43%. Image quality is well maintained. So this is not the image that our institution has, but provided by the Airs Medical, showing how the lesion is more clearly visible after Swift MR reconstruction on DWI. Same here, ADC. Someone asked about the quantitative value, but this image was provided by the company. I didn't have a chance to calculate the ADC value change. I think the Professor Yu later will talk about this more, but this is an example of how even 3D TOF MRA can be benefited using the Swift MR with a reduction in time and the reduction in artifact. This is common artifact we see in the Petrus ICA. So I'll move on to the application of the Swift MR in more advanced brain MRI techniques. Our institution mostly uses Siemens VIDA scanners. Siemens has provided us with these prototype sequences, CST1 MPRH, CST1 MP2RH, which can produce either normal MPRH or something called FLOS. It's kind of like a DIR, and this 3D DL space flare. So first, CS MPRH is highly accelerated 3D T1 weighted images with the acquisition time of less than 2 minutes, but at the cost of image quality degradation. So I can complain because it's really quick, right? But it's kind of blur. But with Swift MR reconstruction, the image quality improves significantly with the added benefit of sub-millimeter spatial resolution in XYZ directions. It's quite impressive. This is CS MP2RH scanned with 1 millimeter isovoxel spatial resolution. The Swift MR can upgrade the spatial resolution such that the blurry image have become much more clear. And this is the same sequence, but in axial view. Again, the images are much more clear after Swift MR reconstruction. By the way, this patient is diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I'll let you appreciate the image to the end. Right. This is contrast enhanced CS MP2RH. See, even after contrast enhancement, the enhancement is clearer. It went a little quicker, so I'm gonna play it and stop it around here. Oh, can't stop. Yeah. See how the vessels are much brighter and clearer after contrast enhancement. So I'll just illustrate some of the lesions in a zoomed in views. As you can see, the cortical lesions are better visualized after Swift MR reconstruction. So I highlighted them in yellow boxes because sometimes cortical lesions are difficult to detect when they're really small, but the Swift MR can enhance the visibility of these cortical lesions. So here, there's tiny, subtle, dark signal in the cortex, but after reconstruction, it's much better visualized. And this is even better case. I mean, this is really blurry and hard to differentiate between the cortex, but now the margin is much clearer. So same for the contrast enhanced images. This lesion had a tiny enhancing focus in the center of the lesion, which can be better visualized after Swift MR. And this is before and after. See how the image is like a mosaic, blurred. Now it's much better clear. Same here. The enhancing focus is better visible after reconstruction. So this is another technique. This is like a byproduct of CSMP2H. Just like double inversion recovery, just like the DIR, this technique can better visualize the juxtacortical and cortical lesions. Even in this post-processed sequence, Swift MR can significantly improve the image quality. This is another Siemens prototype named 3D Deep Learning Space Flare. And what's really interesting about this is that although this 3D flare sequence has already been post-processed with deep learning-based reconstruction, Swift MR has further improved the blurriness of the image. So it's interesting. DAR plus Swift MR still works better. So I'll let you review the 3D space flare in axial view. Okay. So the subtle flare hyperintense lesions in medulla is better delineated after Swift MR recon. Just like Professor Fujima showed earlier. Other subtle lesions in the left optic chiasm and subcortical area here too, and multifocal hyper-intense lesions along the pons and medulla. This is coronal view. So the lesions are much better marginated after reconstruction. So you might wonder, what about the quantitative values? So I calculated the SNR and CNR of one of the lesions, and as expected, both numbers were higher in Swift MR reconstruction images. So after all, I thought the best word to describe Swift MR is versatility. It is applicable in both conventional advanced MR techniques and even in DL reconstructed sequence. So I'll discuss some of the recent ongoing research and publication using Swift MR. So these images are T1 MP range after free surfer generated cortical parcellation. The green line is parcellation from Swift MR, while red is from the conventional. So if you look at the zoomed in view, the green lines the contours are better aligning with the real cortex, whereas the red lines are kind of twisted and mixing together. So I think that even the cortical parcellation is improved after Swift MR reconstruction. Also, I applied the deep learning segmentation of perivascular space. The image shows the impact of noise reduction on PVS segmentation. So the reduction of image noise provides more accurate PVS segmentation. So the conventional, you see more colored dots, which represent the PVS as predicted by the deep learning model. After the denoising, see the reduction in number of these little dots. So radiologists graded the number of PVS into mild, moderate, and severe. And the PVS segmentation output was concordant with the radiologist grading. And the PVS after Swift MR construction have less variability. As you can see, the heights of the green boxes are smaller, which means it is less variable than the conventional one, which has wider range. This is a paper published by my colleague. This patient had with hippocampal sclerosis. The hippocampal striation is better visualized after Swift MR. In the standard MRI, both hippocampal tails show normal volume and internal structure. After Swift MR, the increased signal intensity and blurred hippocampal striation in both hippocampal tails are visible. So it actually improves the lesion visibility in the hippocampus. This is another paper from my colleague. They included 117 patients with high-resolution vessel wall imaging. They termed the Swift MR reconstruction as super-resolution images. See how the spatial resolution in XY direction is improved here after recon. So this is the result of image quality assessment. The super-resolution vessel wall image showed statistically higher image quality rating, rated by radiologists, two radiologists, and they are significantly higher in all parameters, and the kappa values were quite moderate to substantial. So comparing between the two images showed that the stark difference in image quality. In the Swift MR vessel wall image, it shows excellent suppression of noise and a clear visualization of the vessel wall. And this figure above shows the qualitative assessment through the radiologist grading. See how the grading is concordant with the image quality. So the image quality, this one received 5 scores in all scales and has the best image. And the figure below is an example of the vessel wall and the lumen segmentation for quantitative assessment. Let's look at some of the clinical cases presented in the paper. The first case is a 71-year-old female with segmental atherosclerotic plaque on left MCA M1. In conventional image, the lesion itself does not look really clear. And it is difficult to recognize the lesion enhancement because of the background noise. However, in Swift MR recon images, the lesion looks clearer and in non-enhanced image, and even better in after contrast enhancement. There's a 37-year-old female patient with suspected dissection in fourth segment of the right vertebral artery. The false lumen and true lumen are clearly distinguished in Swift MR vessel wall image. After contrast enhancement, the vessel wall lesion visibility increases to the extent that even the intimal flap is clearly visible. So this study tried to integrate both deep learning denoising and super resolution. So they tried to achieve high image quality and spatial resolution at the same time. They evaluated both quantitative and qualitative aspects of the image and proved that super resolution or Swift MR vessel wall image is better. So another important thing is that high clinical visibility. We can directly apply the Swift MR to the images already acquired. So we don't have to get any additional acquisition or reconstruction, which means that acquisition time does not increase. In summary, so Swift MR can provide all these benefits: improved image quality, lesion detection, reduced scan time, and clinical neuroradiology. This can maximize the potential of the existing scanner, or if you have good scanners, you can even get more out of it. So I want to conclude with this proverb: a picture is worth 1,000 words. And then I wanted to translate it into different languages, and I was surprised that the Chinese characters share the same meaning in all three languages. Yeah. Thank you for your attention.
Professor Choi, thank you for your wonderful, great lecture. Do you have any question from audience?
So I'm not the radiologist, so maybe this is relevant from me. I mean, my experience with working with radiologists is the fact that you are excellent in a sense that you recognize the noise by your eyes. So even if the lesion is hidden under the noise, you can recognize it. Years of experience really help you to build the power that I don't have. So my question is, do you ever experience any change in your decision when you compare a noised image versus improved image quality? Let's not worry about the scan time reduction. Yes, we see the benefits of Swift MR. It's clear. But when it comes to the decision from either lesion counting or any of your medical decision, was there any experience that changed based on this improvement?
That's a very critical and important question. Personally, to be honest, I did not experience a large amount of images with Swift MR in routine clinical settings. But in papers, as I showed earlier, there are instances where Swift MR denoising can actually increase the lesion visibility. That might change the decision, or it may not, depending on the radiologist. So it's a difficult question to answer confidently, but there's absolutely a potential that it will affect the decision in difficult cases, like in vessel wall. Yeah.
Okay, that was actually my second question. If we, or with collaboration, do our research on such target decision changes, what will be the topic to study? Like, will the vessel wall be the primary target, as it is so tricky to make?
That's a great question. I think the finer the structure, the more benefit this will have, I think. For example, I showed ADC earlier. I mean, ADC is bright, out in the background it's dark. It's very easy to distinguish. So the margin is not that important. But in fine structures like hippocampus or stellar pituitary gland or vessel wall, this tiny difference can change our decision, right? So I think the smaller the structure, the better. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
I'll go back to the hippocampus.
Okay.
And there was, you saw the internal structure of the hippocampi in one of your slides. Oh yeah, this one. So I think there's improvement apparently, but I also wonder, right underneath the hippocampus, there are these lines that stands out. And I was wondering if this is artificial, or is this something that existed and we just didn't see it on the figure A, but we do see it on figure B, or not B, but the one that's has a red square on top of it.
Yeah. I wish I could actually scroll this up and down.
Right, exactly.
It's a great question. Yeah.
Well, you can go back and see. Can you advance the slides and show the one with the coronal scan of the pons? I think it's like 5-6 slides later. I'm just too picky, probably. But go forward. One more slide, advance.
Advance, like
yeah.
Before?
There was a coronal scan with the pons.
Oh, okay. Flare. This one.
One more, maybe. One more.
Chrono scan. Or
Hang on. One more, please. Yeah, this one. I think, looking at the figure C at the right upper corner, you see this dark line along the pons. It almost looks like hemosiderosis.
Oh, right here.
And I was, well, at the right-hand side and also at the left side of the pons.
Oh.
Is this artificial or is this like hemosiderin? You know, that is also another question that you can probably go back and take a look at the original scan and see if it's a real dark line or is it something that was created through the process that we don't understand. You know, I tend to look at these small stuff. Maybe I'm too picky, but these are some topics that you may have to work on to see if it's real or not, because if it's artificial, we would like to get rid of it, right? So that's the second question. My third question is on the last slide. You did one more. The last one, the remarks of the 1,000 words. My question is this also Swiss MRI? Or no, I'm just joking. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. It's not just a question. I'd like to comment on the quantification, quantitative volumetry using 3D T1 weighted imaging with Swift MR. I tested and I compared the volumetry results of the conventional 3D T1 weighted images and compressed sensed T1 and both images with Swift MR. I found that there are definitely differences in volumetric results. However, it is small. There is a clear difference because some with Swift MR, we don't exactly know Swift MR makes always volumetric bigger or smaller. We don't know, but there is still differences. That is, I think that is very important because Swift MR is really good and the contrast is very good. Segmentation is definitely good, but that means the reference value will be changed because we don't take it granted for using previous references values and previous normal values. We have to make our own reference values for Swift MR T1 weighted images. That is really a great research area, and that should be done as soon as possible. And for spurious effect of Swift MR, I found very interesting, but I still don't know what it is. That is the I always find there's some kind of a double layer of a precentral cortex after Swift MR use. So I thought, is it a spurious image? Or sometimes it looks genuine. Is it some kind of a true double layer? Because we all know precentral cortex is a kind of a different cortex as compared to other cortical area. So, I think, it will be a great idea to compare 7 Tesla MRI and the 3 Tesla MRI, then 3 Tesla MR with Swift MR. So, the background, what I think about it is previously we don't know what perivascular space is because we don't see perivascular space on 1.5 Tesla, but we now see very commonly perivascular spaces, because of 3 Tesla MRI's very high resolution. And if we use Swift MR, we can heighten the 1.5 Tesla brain images up to 3 Tesla quality, so we can see now very tiny details that we cannot see on original 1.5 Tesla. That means if we use Swift MR onto 3 Tesla brain MRI, then we might see some details that only can be visible on 7 Tesla MRI. That's my my flight of idea, but I think Swift MR has a great potential in this context.
Okay, thank you for your great comment. We spent all time our session, so let's wrap up first session. Thank you for your participation, and thank you to Professor Kudo.
Thank you to all the moderators and speakers for such valuable insight during session 1. So actually, we are running behind a few minutes, so let's take a 10 minutes cafe break. So during the cafe break, so refreshments are available over there. So please feel free to enjoy some refreshments. And I have one request for professors' stays at Peninsula tonight. So please take check-in cards outside the venue. Thank you so much for your cooperation. So let's reconvene in 10 minutes. So at 4:30. Thank you so much. So welcome back, everyone. So please take your seat as we begin session 2. So our moderators for this session and Professor Takamichi Murakami from Kobe University and Professor Wonjin Moon from Konkuk University Medical Center. So Professor Takamichi Murakami was an assistant and associate professor of radiology at Osaka University Graduate School of Medicine, and he served as visiting assistant professor at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. And he is currently the professor and head of the Department of Radiology at Kobe University Graduate School of Medicine. So our second moderator, Professor Wonjin Moon, was a visiting scholar at Duke University Medical Center and has served as an associate professor of radiology at Konkuk University Medical Center. So she is currently a professor of radiology and chairperson of the Department of Radiology at the same institution. Please join me in welcoming Professors Murakami and Moon with a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to moderate session 2 with Professor Wang Moon. First speaker is Professor Daiji Ueda from Osaka Metropolitan University. He is now Associate Professor of Department of Artificial Intelligence, Graduate School of Medicine, Osaka Metropolitan University. His presentation title is From Pixel to Patient, our annual medical AI review. It's a very attractive title. He will show they are developing a lot of AI systems, and so he will introduce his development today. Is it okay?
Okay, we are in trouble right now. Pretty little for me. We need human intelligence.
Okay, please start your presentation.
Okay. I think this works. I think this works. I think so. I don't need it.
There are a few, we have time, and so I would like to introduce himself more in detail. And
okay, I'm ready. Thank you.
Already. Please start.
I'm ready.
Okay, start.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm Daiji Ueda. I'm from Department of Artificial Intelligence, Graduate of School of Medicine, Osaka Metropolitan University. This is the third largest university in Japan. Today, I will talk about from pixels to patients, our laboratory annual medical AI review. Okay, this is table of contents today. At first, I will briefly talk about the introduction, and I will show you our laboratory. And secondly, I will talk about, this is a main theme, and our AI research catalog for the last year. And lastly, I will talk about potential collaboration with you. Let's start. Okay, at first, introduction. This is our, let me introduce our laboratory. This is overview of our laboratory. We have more than 60 research articles in 5 years, and we have researchers, AI engineers, and medical writers, and PhD students. And we also have workstations, many workstations such as GDX A100, and sorry, I can't, actually I can't see my slide on this computer, so I have no choice but to see this. So please look at this. So an RTX 6000 ADA and Titan V, and we also have storage more than 3 petabytes. And we also have medical device certifications in Japan, and from research to the market is one of our slogans. So one AI to detect cerebral aneurysms on MRI, and the other one is to detect lung nodules on X-rays. Okay. And also, this is our strength. We have database for research. We have the largest medical database in Japan. We already have 3 million exams, including images, radiological reports, and pathological reports, and other several clinical examinations. Okay, this is the main topic, our AI research catalog for the last year. Okay. We have published 22 peer-reviewed papers in the last year. This is a category. Blue ones are LLM study, and yellow ones are image-to-image translation, such as PIX-to-PIX, or cyclogram or stylogram, or something like that. And green ones are the conventional AI technique, classification or regression or something like that. And red ones are the fairness study. We are focusing on how to implement AI in a fair manner in healthcare. And gray ones are about review. Today, I will talk about these 5 research. 3 are classification or regression tasks, and one is categorized in image-to-image translation, and the last one is about ChatGPT. Okay, first topic. This is a classification or regression task. We have 3 publications in the Lancet family in the last year. One is AI to estimate cardiac diseases and cardiac functions. from X-rays. We collected X-rays with echocardiology reports of 20,000 images from 4 institutions. And we finally found that X-rays inherently contain information about cardiac disease. This is the main results. The AUC, ROCs for major outcomes are more than 0.83. A is a classification of left ventricular ejection fraction dysfunction, and B is a tricuspid regurgitant velocity, which is an indicator of pulmonary hypertension. And C is a mitral regurgitation, and D is aortic stenosis. And this is a visualization of areas in X-rays that reflect cardiac diseases, which AI thinks important. We found that the heart and HeLa regions are important for AI determination. Okay, this is the first study to develop and validate an AI model for cardiac functions and valvular cardiac diseases using X-rays. This advantage is first processing time and accessibility for physicians without specialized echocardiography skills and usefulness in emergency situations or areas with limited access to specialists. And AI showed higher performance in estimating ejection fraction dysfunction compared to physicians. And AI model could play we think AI model could play a complementary role to echocardiography for cardiac assessments. Sorry. A second one is an AI to estimate lung function from X-rays. We collected 200,000 images from 5 institutions, and we found that it has information about lung function. This is the main results. Pearson coefficient are more than 0.90 for the main pulmonary function, such as FVC and FEV1. And this is a visualization of areas in X-rays that reflect lung function. We found that the cause of decreased lung function lies in the peripheral lung region. This is the first study to estimate FVC and FEV1 from X-rays. Advantage is we use widely available chest X-rays, and it can be used without changing usual clinical practice, and it doesn't require active patient participation. So this AI model could provide additional value to X-rays through pulmonary function estimation. This is our last AI in this topic. We made an AI to estimate age from X-rays. There are 2 steps. One is biomarker modeling phase, only with healthy cohort, healthy participants, and second phase is a phase to investigate correlation between the disease using only disease patients. At first, this is the biomarker modeling phase. We use only healthy participants, and we found that the Pearson coefficient are more than 0.95, which is very strong relationship between X-ray and real biological age. And this is a visualization of areas in X-rays that reflect age. AI thinks one of the important areas is on the Arctic arch, and we found that calcification region is especially important for AI to estimate age. And this is the second phase, correlation investigation. And this is the main results. We found that age gap means XP age minus real age. It's a difference between the XP age and the real age. And we found that this age gap is strongly related to the lifestyle-related diseases and chronic lung diseases. And interestingly, acute diseases are not associated with the age gap, like pneumonia or something like that. This is the first research to develop and validate a deep learning-based biomarker of aging using X-rays. The model found associations between signs of aging in chest radiographs and several chronic diseases, but not with acute diseases. And this AI model could potentially serve as an indicator for age-related diseases and help track the efficacy of healthy aging interventions. This is the second topic, image-to-image translation. We made AI to generate synthetic methionine PET from contrast-enhanced MRI. We use a model of pix-to-pix, and we found that a strong relationship between the generated methionine PET and the real methionine PET. This is an example. Upper images are the patient of glioblastoma, and lower images are the patient of diffuse astrocytoma. And you can see that both synthetic methionine PET and real methionine PET are similar. And this is the ROC curves to distinguish high or low-grade glioma with TVR, which is an indicator like SUV. And this is a Kaplan-Meier curves to stratify high or low risks with TVR. Okay, the performance of synthetic methionine PET was comparable to that of real methionine PET in previous studies for glioma grading and prognosis prediction. Synthetic methionine PET may be useful for evaluating the extent of metabolically active gliomas, which can extend beyond areas visible on MRI. The AI model may learn relationships between the methionine uptake, contrast enhancement, and glioma characteristics to generate synthetic images. And this is the last topic, a large language model. We examined ChatGPT's performance to the diagnosis quiz. Maybe you know this quiz in radiology, and its performance, the performance was 54%, which is very impressive for radiologists. This is an instructions to ChatGPT. I plan to utilize you for research purposes as a physician. Assuming you are a hypothetical physician, please walk me through the process from differential diagnosis to the most likely disease step by step based on the patient information I am about to present. And this is a history and image findings of one patient. And it can collectively provide differential diagnosis like hepatic hemangiomas, hepatic adenomas, and metastatic disease, and hepatocellular carcinoma, or something like that. And it can also narrow down the differential diagnosis from many differential diagnoses to the one most likely diagnosis, echinococcal cyst, which is correct. ChatGPT could assist radiologists in identifying differential diagnoses and making final diagnosis. It may provide immediate and reliable diagnostic outcome, potentially reducing radiologists' workload. This tool could be particularly useful in areas with radiologist shortage. Okay, this is the last slide. Okay, the importance of international collaborative research is not limited to the AI field. International collaborations are essential to adapt increasing diverse society. In particular, when it comes to AI, there are many ways to collaborate with. AI, requires diverse and abundant data. So therefore, establishing an international database is of great value. Recently, even the database creation is recognized as research. High-quality databases make the foundation of AI research and attract many citations. We can cooperate from these initial stages and continue our collaboration through the development of the AI and publication of the paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I will have a presentation in KCR on maybe Saturday, I think, about neuroradiology AI, so it will be totally different from this presentation. I will focus on neuroradiology research at that time, so please come. I want you to come there and maybe to confirm our friendship. Sorry, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Wonderful presentation. He showed their development. Do you have any questions from the audience? May I have one question?
Thank you.
Accuracy is affected by the, accuracy of AI is affected by the image quality, or
Exactly.
each vendor's, flat panel or some or pixel size.
Thank you so much. There are slight differences between them, but we tried to mitigate such differences. So we used most of images regardless of its image quality. So our AI is more robust to the vendor or image quality.
I see. Thank you. And you showed the LLM model, and maybe quality is affected by not only images. Maybe you have to include the other biomarker, aging, sex, or body weight,
Exactly.
and such. It's still very difficult to combine the all in biomarker.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, and it's very suggestive. So there are some ways to combine such other factors, tabular data, into AI, or maybe we can combine it using conventional statistical analysis like logistical regressions with the AI output, including AI output. So, but in my experience, maybe, of course, the most novel thing is to use image. So at first, we are focusing on to reveal relationship between unknown factors to image. And maybe we will proceed our research to use many other variables and to achieve higher accuracy or high performance. So that is our next step. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Professor Yamada, please. Okay.
So I like that study of the methionine. And the point I wanted to make was not mine, but I was listening to Mark Schweitzer's lecture that was ISMRM this year in Singapore. And he was talking about the AI ethics.
Yes, exactly.
And he was pointing out that even if you are able to generate an image that looks like something, that does not necessarily mean that you actually achieved something, because
Exactly.
it could be a complete fake in a way, right? Mm-hmm. So would you pursue on this direction when you're actually doing your research? Let's say, for example, are you eager to create a CT scan out of MRI, or, FDG PET from CT, whatever? This direction is kind of dangerous in a way. And therefore, I just wanted to ask Europe, you're the expert. So would you go on and go further and try to build some nuclear med study out of something else and say that it's usable?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have an opinion.
Exactly. It's a really difficult question, but my pure enthusiasm is based on to pursue the novelty.
Novelty, yes.
Novelty.
Yes, yes.
I don't know it will helpful for future something, but it may be helpful. I don't know the future, and I don't know what will happen in the future. But what I have to do is pay forward, and I will do my best to show novelty to the with using the research manner.
Right.
So that is my enthusiasm. So actually, my answer is I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I want to do. What I'm doing is what I want to do right now. So, so maybe I should make an AI to find my purposes.
Oh, okay. But Jongo, do you have any opinion on this? Because you're one of the leading figures.
Well, it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say. I mean, it's just too many changes in such a short time to think about it. And I totally agree in a sense that we are still at the very early stage of AI, so anything new is exciting. And then maybe we go to a certain stage where things are, slow down a little bit, and we have time to think about what is valuable out of the new. So maybe I still agree with him. The new is what matters at this point of time. LMM just came out, and it really makes my head dizzy. I never thought about using language model to my research, and now in the lab there are students who are totally focused on this multimodal input data processing. I understand none of them. It's really hard to catch up.
Yeah, I'm Won Jin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to move on to the next speaker. I'm Won Jin Moon from Konkuk University Medical Center. Actually, our hospital is the first university affiliated hospital that purchased the AIRS medical system. So I'm very proud of here. And also, I'm very honored to be invited into this wonderful symposium. Our next speaker is Sung Hae-yu. Professor Sung Hae-yu is currently is associate professor in Korea University Annam Hospital. She graduated from College of Medicine at Korea University College of Korea University, and completing her traineeship in Korea University Annam Hospital. And now she's an associated professor, and she's a very well-recognized researcher in neuroradiology and the AI application of neuroradiology. Her presentation title is Deep Learning-Based Imaging Quality Improvement in Neurovascular Imaging. Please, Dr. Yu.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. This time, I'd like to talk about the deep learning-based image quality improvement in the neurovascular imaging focused on our recent studies. This is our research team, and 2 of the 4 neuroradiologists in our hospitals are neurointerventional radiologists. So our research is more weighted on the vascular imaging, and I will shortly introduce the other 2 non-vascular imaging studies. Among these researches, we could have an opportunity to study with AIRS medical research team for these 2 topics. The first section is about the aneurysm. Before starting the main section of this presentation, I want to show you one case which made us to be interested in image quality improvement in vascular imaging. This is the case of the unruptured left dorsal wall aneurysm. We performed the coil embolization for this aneurysm, and during the procedure, microcatheter was kinked back, and the inserted coil was retracted to the parent vessel. So we placed the rescue stand for preventing the prolapse of the coil loop. After 2 days, we performed the follow-up TOF MRA, but we could not evaluate the instant or residual flow due to the susceptibility artifact and RF shielding effect of the stent. It is a well-known limitation of TOF MRA. However, in PETRA, both instant and residual flow well demonstrated. PETRA is the name of the commercial UT sequence in Siemens. So we applied the PETRA MRA in patients with treated intracranial aneurysm. The sensitivity of PETRA in detection of residual flow is significantly superior to that of TOF in simple coiling and stent-assisted coiling, as you can see in this column. PETRA MRA overcomes the critical limitation of TOF MRA in evaluating the aneurysm recurrence. However, UT MRA cannot replace the TOF MRA as a follow-up protocol for treated aneurysm because of the background residual artifact and low peripheral SNR. So we want to improve the overall PETRA image quality, not to require the TOF images, because reducing total acquisition time is important in MRI. I believe this is the major concept of the ELS Medical. At the time, GAN has attractive attention in field of the image quality improvement. So using the cycle GAN, we want to generate the synthetic TOF from the PETRA. Using input data, usually low quality images, generator generate the fake images expected to resemble the real high quality images. Then the discriminator determine the probability for imaging being real. Using the alpha from the discriminator, the generator adapted the parameters to improve the generated images. All these pathways have an aim of minimizing the loss function. We started a study with the 377 patients who underwent both PETRA and TOF MRA simultaneously. The data from 188 patients was used for model development, and that from 189 patients were used for image quality validation. In training stage, we used the modified cycle GAN consisted with 2 generator, 2 discriminator, 4 types of loss functions, and the grad cam. In validation stage, using the generator, we generate the synthetic TOF from the PETRA in validation data set. And then we perform the qualitative and quantitative analysis for the PETRA, synthetic TOF, and real TOF. In qualitative analysis based on the 5-point Likert scale, overall image quality, noise, sharpness, and vascular conspicuity were improved in synthetic TOF. And in the quantitative analysis, SNR was included in synthetic TOF. It was even higher than true TOF. And then we conducted a multi-observer image quality assessment with 17 radiologists for the randomly selected 20 patients. In the multi-observer image quality assessment, there was no significant difference in the question for the diagnostic optimality and imaging preference between the synthetic TOF and real TOF. Also, the question to choose the real TOF images, the readers could not differentiate the synthetic TOF from the real TOF. This is the synthetic TOF. It showed a comparable image quality with the TOF. In this background, we want to apply this technique to the 4D MRA. Professor Seung-Hoon Choi gave me an opportunity to write this paper. And at the time, our hospital set the fast stroke MRI protocol for inpatient stroke. We should choose the one protocol for the vascular evaluation. And we consider the 3 types of sequences as a candidate. After considering the scan time, FOV, and collaterality, we selected 40 MRA. The total scan time was about 1 minute and temporal resolution was 1.25 seconds. We could evaluate the large vessel occlusion using the intracranial peak arterial phase images and the collateral status using the dynamic images. All happy, but the one drawback was a low SNR and resolution of the each phase images, as you can see. So we want to develop the synthetic TOF generation model from the twist MRA arterial phase images. Using the MIP image of the 40 MRA and TOF from the 199 patient, we developed the synthetic TOF generation model and performed the image quality evaluation and clinical validation. The image quality was significantly improved in the synthetic TOF compared to the 40 MRA, and especially in the venous contamination was effectively decreased. Compared to the anterior circulation, SNR increase in posterior circulation is more prominent. As you can see, picture occlusion was well demonstrated in synthetic TOF. For reporting the LVO in the confidence level increased and decision time decreased when using both 40 MRA and synthetic TOF. This result was very meaningful to me, but there were several limitations in our in-house model. We used the MIP images rather than the source data due to the technical limitation, and we did not include the MRA portion. Also, there was a fundamental limitation of a generative model to generate the false images. In addition, it was hard to apply it to the clinical practice without additional time and effort. In the meantime, we could use the SwiftML. We applied the software to our oldest MR machine, Achiba. In all sequences, we could feel the significant improvement of the image quality, but that of the MRA was very impressive for me. General vascular sharpness was increased, and SNR of peripheral vessel were attractively increased. So we want to apply it to the 40 MRA. It can be integrated into the PACS system, and the denoising could be performed in a source data level. We suggested this topic to the ELSE medical research team, and thankfully we could start the collaborated researches with the ELSE medical research team. For the 40 MRA, after applying the SwiftML, we performed the image quality assessment for the 397 patients who underwent both 40 MRA and TOF MRA. We evaluate the diagnostic confidence level and decision time for LVO with the 123 patients who suspected acute ischemic stroke. In image quality assessment, SNR of M1, M2, and vascular artery were significantly increased when we used the SwiftML, as you can see in these figures. Vascular edge sharpness was also increased in the image with the SwiftML. Based on the TOF, a total 54 aneurysms from the 38 patients were detected. Among them, 78% were detected in original MRA, 40 MRA, and 82% was detected in images with SwiftML. There was no significant difference in measurement size of aneurysm between the TOF and MRA with SwiftML. To assess the LVO in acute ischemic stroke, diagnostic confidence level was increased and time for decision was decreased in MRA with SwiftML. We performed another study with 70 MRI. We obtained the TOF MRA in both 70 and 3T MR machines. 70 MRA has more signal information, so we can see the signal from the perforating artery in the basal ganglia. But in MIP images, SNR of 70 MRA was not sufficiently high. So we tried to improve the SNR using the diffusion model. And the result was promising, and this study is currently ongoing. Let's move on to the non-vascular imaging. I'd like to talk about the two other types of deep learning studies very shortly. We recently developed the synthetic temporal bone CT generation model. As you know, MRI has a limitation in bone imaging. UT imaging partially overcomes this problem in aspect of bone fracture, but it is not enough to demonstrate the temporal bone structures because of the small size of key structures. You can just demonstrate the silhouettes of the air-containing areas, so we want to develop the synthetic temporal bone CT generation model. With the 54 case performing both Petra MRI and the temporal bone CT, we developed the synthetic temporal bone CT generation model. This is the synthetic temporal bone CT image. This image shows the mastoid antrum, editus ad antrum, epitympanum, malleus, and incus. This image also effectively demonstrates the sclerotic changes of right mastoid air cells compared to the well-aerated left side. The positive generation rate for key anatomic sites were over 96%, and the depth of the key anatomic structure was relatively low. It was between the 24 to 82%. The generation rate for stapes was just 24%. Our model has limitations. Until now, it could not show the specific changes of ossicles such as erosion. We thought that it mainly came from the fundamental limitation of Petra. However, there might be the limitation in in-house model. Another non-vascular imaging study was recently started with the ELS medical research team. Choroid plexus volume has lately received attention as the biomarkers of lymphatic function after this article by Professor Won-Jin Moon. But it takes additional time and effort in segmentation of choroid plexus using the enhancement images. Also, accurate segmentation is very difficult in these images. Based on the concept that segmentation of choroid plexus volume in post-enhancement image is very easy, we plan to develop the deep learning-based segmentation model using the paired pre- and post-enhancement image for learning. I hope that the result of this study could be added to the new AI solution in ELS Medical Dr. Valley. This is the last slide. We experienced two approaches in deep learning model development: in-house development and collaborated researches with companies. Both have some advantages and disadvantages. The key advantages of in-house model development might be the wide range of topics, but the major challenge is that it can be difficult to apply to the outcome directly to the clinical practice. The researchers often remain the experimental for a long period, making the translation into the practical application more complex. Additionally, in-house development tend to have the longer development timeline, which can delay the introduction of the new technology or innovations. On the other hand, collaborated researches with companies can significantly increase the potential for practical application. Companies often have high-level researchers, expertise, and motivation to move the research from the lab into the real-world clinical use. Moreover, this collaboration often results in high-quality outcomes. The choice depends largely on the goal of the research project, timeline, and the desired outcomes. I want to continue more studies with ELS medical research team in the future. Thank you so much for kind attention.
Thank you for your tremendous presentation. Are there any questions on the podium? Well, I think, yeah, we are running behind a little bit, but just a quick question. I'm very interested in your choroid plexus segmentation. Have you considered FLAIR images to combine with the T1 weighted image to extract the accurate segmentation?
I saw the one previous paper which showed the usefulness of a combination of prior and pre-T1 weighted images for segmentation of choroid plexus, but we did not consider the kinds of study designs. First, we thought about we want to generate the synthetic post-enhancement image from the pre-enhancement image and to segment the choroid plexus, but EOS medical research team said that it is not effective. So we just use the post-enhancement image as a reference.
Yeah, thank you. I think, well, it was really a great symposium, and I really enjoyed, and also I hope everyone's enjoyed this symposium a lot. I think I'd like to close this session, and yeah, I hope everyone's will enjoy this evening and weekend. Thank you.
Thank you to all the moderators and the speakers for another excellent session. So as we near the conclusion of today's symposium, so I'd like to express our sincere appreciation to all the participants, speakers, and moderators for making this event a great success. So I hope you found today's seminar valuable. So this concludes today's seminar. Thank you so much for your time. And we will now have dinner for networking and informal discussions. And before we move to the Ginza ballroom for dinner, we will take a group photo. So please gather at the front of this room over there. Thank you for your cooperation.